What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name is Michael Roman, aka Allfires. Now, for all the Marvel movies that have had any significant drama going on and behind the scenes, probably the worst of it has been for Blade, where it seems like since October of 2022, every single mishap or misfire with that film has been reported publicly, to the point where the constant failings of the film became more of the story than the film itself. Because without all of this negative attention, the Blade reboot was high enough profile in Hollywood to begin with. Every single time a brand new writer came or left the project, that was also immediately reported in the Hollywood trades, and at last count, we were on at least 6 writers and counting, including but not limited to Nick Pizzolatto, Eric Pearson, Michael Starbury, Stacey Osei-Kuffour, and reportedly Michael Green, the guy who wrote Logan. Now hold that thought because we'll be back to it, but in the meantime, some of you may have noticed in about 3 months ago, all of a sudden we got news that Marvel Studios was fast-tracking a Midnight Suns film as basically an extension of what we would see in the already released Werewolf by Night and the upcoming Blade movie. Maybe they were doing it as sort of compensation for making Mahershala Ali wait so long for Blade. Hey, don't worry, we have a crossover film coming right after it. Well, it would be more than a pun to say that the horror and supernatural side of the universe from Marvel seems to be cursed, but that's where we pick up today with the latest update coming from trusted industry insider Daniel RPK about the writer on the Midnight Suns, and it's not good. We're going to break it down. Just quick reminder to hit the subscribe button to be entered to win for our ongoing PS5 giveaway, and stick around at the end of the video when we get into all the giveaway stuff again there. So this broke late last night from industry insider Daniel RPK. You guys can follow him over on Twitter at RPK News, where via his Patreon he indicated, quote, Michael Green, again the guy who wrote Logan and penned at least one version of the script for Blade, is no longer attached to Midnight Suns, and they are now looking for a new writer. Oh, you don't say. Shocker. Now, obviously, this happens. Marvel Studios has brought in multiple writers for almost every project in Phase 4 and Phase 5, for better or for worse, and they've served in a lot of different ways. Sometimes they hire an additional writer to continue working off a script that's already done. That was the case several times with Blade. Sometimes they completely fire a writer and rehire a new one. That happened several times with a couple of the Avengers movies to pen a whole new script. And sometimes they'll just bring in someone to write additional parts for a film and script that already exists, just basically penning a couple of new scenes to lock it in. And the guy I mentioned during the prologue, who has worked on Blade, and Eric Pearson, is basically known in-house at Marvel Studios as the closer. He's the guy that they bring in because they need 1 or 2 scenes that they need to change or rewrite for the film to really pull it all together. They bring Eric Pearson in. He's done it on several Marvel projects at this point, and in fact, if you go and look for him, with a Hawkeye pun totally intended, in the credits, you'll often find his name under writers. And so with all that explaining and referencing several times they've done it before, it's just par for the course, right? That means no harm, no foul, but I'm not really sure that that's the case, because at the very least it means Marvel Studios is having a hard time connecting with the right writers off the bat who have a vision of the project that's in sync with their own, or conversely, allowing the writer's vision of the project to really flourish. And they have been able to find good writers from time to time, and some of these stories have been really good. Again, I stand by Multiverse of Madness actually being a really strong film from Michael Waldron, considering how many rewrites they did, upwards of 20, to water down his story. It's still connected emotionally on a lot of levels when basically they could have destroyed it, which is, I think, a lot of what happened with some of these movies in later Phase 4, early Phase 5, where movie by committee and the rewrites at some point are not helping at all. So Marvel Studios knows they have to get it right, but really what they have to do is strike a balance between whatever their vision of the film is and allowing a writer to have a complete idea. And so when you look at a project like Blade, that's now on its 6th plus writer, you have to wonder where the problem really lies. Someone has a vision, be it Marvel, Mahershala Ali, etc., for that project, and the writers are not delivering scripts that they connect with as the proper vision for the film. And so something is breaking down in communication between Marvel Studios, the vision board, the writers that they're hiring. And yeah, is it hard to find good writers? Of course. That's why good movies are hard to come by, good TV shows are hard to come by, and there's a lot more bad ones than good ones. But Marvel's got to realize at some point, more rewrites and more writers and more scripts isn't the answer. The project needs to intrinsically have the right vision and communicate it properly from the beginning, or it just seems like at some point spinning the wheels in any creative process can actually bring it down. So to circle back at the topic at hand, is Michael Green departing the Midnight Suns film a bad omen? Maybe not. Maybe it's par for the course, and maybe they will keep parts of his script and bring someone else in to finish it or do something else. But if we get this news again and again, the same way it's gone down for Blade, where we're now on writer 3 or on writer 4, then I think the same concern that we've had for projects in the past is warranted. And we've seen it again and again where the rewrites don't help. And at some point, they've got to figure out why these projects are not being properly penned at least the first or second time. But that's the way it works in Hollywood, man. And at least Marvel Studios is willing to take these shots, put the money up, and keep going at it to make sure the movies are good instead of putting out subpar stuff. It just gets extremely expensive. And like I said, it's not the best of publicity when you have writers coming and going like a revolving door. It makes it sound like the project is not on solid ground when that might not be the case. Now keep in mind, this is simply the writer on the project. We still don't know who's attached to direct Blade, and I think if they lock down the right person, that's probably who should go on to direct the Midnight Suns, because Marvel Studios has shown success before when a director takes a single character and then continues to direct that character into an ensemble film. And my vote has been the entire time and has remained Chad Stahelski, the guy who worked on the John Wick films, who has publicly campaigned to say that he wanted to direct Blade, and that's when someone else was still at the helm, so it wasn't a possibility, and knows Kevin Feige has referred to him as a mentor of sorts, giving a lot of advice about what to do with the John Wick franchise and as it was going. Hire that guy to do Blade, then have him do the Midnight Suns, because the visceral violence, you can actually feel it in the beauty to the choreography that's been shown in John Wick, and that's what's going to be needed to elevate this version of Blade over the Wesley Snipes versions. Not just some harnesses, some cheesy wire effects, and some good karate. It's got to have that clean polish, really make it feel like a different film, and I think that's the guy they need to hire. But if you guys have a different guy in mind for who should direct the movie, or who you think should actually pen the next version of the script for Midnight Suns, I'm all ears as always. Let me know down in the comments. Quickly, let's get into the giveaway stuff before I let you go. All right, we are still giving away PlayStations at the channel. The next one is for the Daredevil finale coming up in about a month or so. If you want to be entered to win, all the same rules will always apply for giveaways here at the channel. It's super simple. Just be a subscriber, so hit the subscribe button, then leave a comment down below, and because it's truly random, the more videos you comment on, the better chance you have of winning. All winners will always be announced at the end of videos, live like we're doing here, with my voice and the winning comment shown on screen when there is one. So please be safe and vigilant on my channel, really anywhere on YouTube. If you should get someone trying to contact you saying you've won a prize, it's all a ruse to get your information on third-party app like WhatsApp or Telegram, and then get you to pay for shipping for a prize that doesn't exist. If you should get a comment like that anywhere, just report it directly to YouTube. They are very swift about deleting those comments for everyone. You're doing everyone in the service everyone in the community a service. The best way to keep up with the content has always been to hit the notification bell with all notifications turned on. And as always, if you liked today's video, I'd appreciate it if you'd hit the like button. My name is Michael Roman. You can find me in a couple of places, Instagram and Twitter at IamFires. You can also find me on Spotify, YouTube, Amazon, Apple, iTunes, wherever you listen to original music under the name Allfires. And while I would sincerely appreciate you checking out my music, thanks for checking this channel out. Stick around. We'll be posting again real soon.